Hi, I'm Corey from ID Parts. In this video, we're going to do a suspension check on a Mark IV Jetta TDI. On this car, we will be checking the front strut mounts, the ball joints, the tie rod ends, the sway bar links, the control arm bushings, and the rear axle bushings. Okay, the first thing we're going to check are the front strut mounts. They're located underneath the hood, right in this top corner here. It's got a black cat, which is the top of the whole strut assembly, and the bushing or the mount is located under this metal area. You can tell how worn the bushing is by how much gap there is between the metal and the top of this cap. On this car, the gap is very little because these were recently replaced, but whenever it gets above 5/8 of an inch or so, the front strut mounts need to be replaced. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is check for play in the wheel. We're going to check for play side to side, which would tell us that the tie rod end is bad. We don't hear any noise and the wheel's not moving, so that means the tie rod is good. The other thing is we're going to check up and down. That would be a good indication that the ball joint is bad. There's no play there either, so at least mechanically both the tie rod and the ball joint are good. But we also need to visually inspect the ball joint, which is located right here, for any cracks in the boot. If you see any oil or grease that has fallen out, that means the ball joint needs to be replaced. We're also going to check the tie rod end, which also has a boot on it. That's located right here. We're going to look for grease or oil leakage as an indication that needs to be replaced. That one looks pretty good. Next thing we're going to check is the sway bar link. Sway bar link is a small link right here. It kind of looks like a dog bone with the two ends, or a dumbbell as it were. And we're going to look at the bushings here to see if there's any cracking. And this one actually has a lot of cracking. This sway bar link looks like it has failed completely. And what will happen is when you're going over bumps, this will make kind of a loud clunking noise. So this thing should be replaced as soon as possible because it has failed. The next thing we're going to check for is the control arm rear bushing, which is located here. This whole piece is the front control arm, and the rear bushing is located underneath this bolt. So we're going to go and take a different angle with it right here, and we're going to check the bushing to see if there's any cracks. This one looks fairly new. Looks like it was replaced recently. There's no cracks. It's actually an Audi TT style bushing. You can tell it's an Audi TT style because the rubber is solid. It doesn't have any holes in it. This bushing looks very good. While we're here, we'll also look at the subframe bushings, which are located right here. We'll check for any cracks in the rubber, both top and bottom. That one looks pretty healthy. Even though the bolt is rusted, the bushing itself looks like it's just fine. The last thing we're going to check is on the rear of the car. Is the rear axle bushing. This beam is the rear axle, and the bushing is located in this bracket here. It's a very, very strong bushing, and over time it starts cracking, and that will cause the rear axle to make a lot of noise when going over bumps. This one looks fairly healthy. There's some small cracking in it, but there's nothing too major. If you see the bushing separating from the outside housing at all, that means the bushing has failed and needs to be replaced. All right, we'll do the same thing on the other side of the car, but you can do this on your own car and see what you need to replace on your own suspension. Thanks for watching.